Money is always on everyone's mind, but not often is it sitting in the mind of a 20-year-old. However, your 20s is the time to think about money more than ever. These decisions, when it comes to saving money, spending money, or investing money, matter more than ever. If you start to use money tips early, you can save yourself loads of financial woes in the future. That's why today's video is about 8 money traps to avoid in your 20s. Be sure to stick around till the end of the video to see the worst trap to fall into and figure out exactly how to avoid it and keep your hard-earned money. Number 8, spending more than you earn. It can be easy to assume that since you're earning money anyway, why not go ahead and spend it? Well, it wouldn't be best to do that for several reasons. For one, the money isn't actually in your bank account yet, so if you were to spend money you don't have, it could put you into serious debt. Debt isn't something that needs to be accumulated in your 20s. A good rule of thumb to avoid getting into debt and spending more money than you earn is to make sure that you stick to a budget. After bills and other monthly expenses are paid for, with the remaining money, it would be smart to put half in savings and use the other half for fun. Make sure to avoid spending money that isn't in your account yet. Otherwise, you may never see the benefits of living debt-free because of the choices you made in your 20s. Number 7, using all of your savings on your wedding. Yes, a wedding is certainly a fantastic day. It's a day to celebrate, and it's a day that many people want to spend tons of money on. If you do, that's not a problem. The only thing that you may regret from having a big wedding is the idea of spending all your savings on it. That's years of money, years of saved money spent on one event. Even though the event itself is a fantastic event and something that is worth celebrating, one of the biggest mistakes you can make in your 20s is spending every penny on it. Try to make some cost-cutting solutions where it can actually be done and where you would be okay with making budget cuts. In the end, you'll end up with more money to spend with your future spouse. Number 6, putting off retirement planning. Some jobs have retirement options prepared, but not all. Saving for the future often isn't on the mind for many folks that young, but it is something that needs to be considered. Retirement catches up quickly, and lots of people tend to underestimate exactly how quickly it tends to do that. Now, it doesn't mean that people need to put 3/4 of their paycheck into retirement this early. But putting money into savings and keeping in mind that retirement will come up in about 40 years may open doors for an early retirement and more fun in the future. To make more money through savings, you should try to grow your savings so that the future doesn't sneak up on you. Number 5, buying a brand new car. While buying a brand new car sounds like an attractive idea, it can actually be worse for saving money than most people would think. In fact, buying brand new cars has been a running issue in the past. Many people see the attractiveness of buying a car and they jump for it without thinking of the consequences or what can happen in the future. This is especially true for younger people, hence the people in their 20s trying to avoid money mistakes. Buying a new car is not a smart choice for a number of reasons. First, the second that a new car is driven off the lot, it loses value. That's because it now has mileage and now it is no longer brand new. The spike in loss of money is astounding. If a 20-year-old bought a new car for $20,000, they could probably sell it back in a year for $13,000. It's just not a good investment. Second, buying a new car could end up raising your insurance rates, and the new car could pose a certain risk to insurance companies, depending on the provider. So regardless of how badly you feel that you want a new car, it would probably be best to buy a used vehicle until you are old enough to properly finance a new car. By the way, we're on a mission to help people like yourself make billions, so make sure to subscribe if that sounds like you. Number 4, not investing. Investing can be scary, but now is the perfect time to start investing. Younger people know what's in style, what's happening, and the more recent trends that are starting to emerge in the real world. For instance, now that marijuana has become legalized in New York, Colorado, and other states, younger people might have found it smart to invest in weed providers or stores. This could have been overlooked by someone who was older and didn't understand weed. So not investing at this young of an age can not only be a pain in the butt, it's a mistake. Even if the investments flop, it won't be as soul-crushing when someone is 20 as it would be if they were 30 or 40 and lost an investment with careful planning. Investing while young is also a great way to learn what to do and what not to do, as well as who you can trust and who you can't when it comes to money managing people and other things. A good way to avoid making this mistake is to start investing, even if it's something small. Acorn is a great app that invests spare change for you. That's definitely somewhere to start. Number 3, getting into debt. Getting into debt when young can be easy to do, but hard to break free from. When someone is 20 years old, they can easily find themselves stuck in a rut. They can find themselves looking at all the amazing things that their friends have and they don't, or the amazing trips their friends can go on that they can't. Instead of saving or telling themselves that they should wait to spend their money on things such as frivolous trips and clothes, they take out loans and credit cards and join in on the fun. This can lead to short-term fun and in some cases long-term memories, but in the end they find themselves in debt at a young age. Now, building credit is necessary to survive in today's world, which sadly comes with debt. But swimming in debt, especially at a young age, is a huge mistake. This will lead to new bills, monthly payments, and oftentimes to a younger adult, payments that they can't handle. Not only is this a mistake, it can push them behind the rest of their peers and others while they try to get ahead in life. A good way to avoid making this mistake is to avoid purchasing things that you cannot afford at the time and making sure that the debt that you do acquire for yourself is necessary. Number 2, failing to save for emergencies. Emergencies happen. No one can stop them no matter how well they prepare. One day the car just won't start, and now it needs a new battery. One day you trip and fall, twisting your ankle and resulting in an ER trip. A car smashes into your car, and now you have to pay to fix your broken door. Or even worse, a battle with COVID or any other sickness puts you in the hospital for an extended period. These are things that no one wants to happen, much less wants to pay for. That's why it's a smart idea to ensure that there are savings set aside for emergencies. One of the worst things that you can do in your 20s is to fail to save for emergencies like that. Not only does it put you behind, it also makes you dip into your checking account, which should be used for fun, things, or food, and other kinds of expenses, to pay for what you don't want. Worse, it could drive you into debt as you struggle to pay for the expenses that you need. One of the best ways to avoid this predicament is to set aside some money every month, just in case. It doesn't have to be a lot. It definitely doesn't. But it could help make a dent if something were to come up in an emergency that required a large sum of money. Number 1, reckless spending. Reckless spending is another one of the worst mistakes that a 20-year-old could make in their early days with money. Spending on whatever catches your eye in the perfectly placed social media ads, YouTube clips, or merch sales from your favorite band or TV show star. Sometimes indulgence can be great, especially if the person deserves it. However, reckless spending can put you into debt and waste money that you could have put towards something such as groceries or other sorts of expenses. The best way to avoid reckless spending is to stick to a budget. Figure out what is owed per month for bills and subscriptions, as well as savings, before moving on to the fun money that is available to you. That way, you can spend frivolously if you wanted to, and it would be guiltless. And if you found this video useful, then you'll love these. And be sure to like this video to let the YouTube algorithm know you'd like to see more videos like this one.